And now, on with the show.
Imperial Pearl and the Cultured Pearl Association of America presents Pearl Talks.
We're here with Jacques Branellec, #1 producer of the Golden South Sea Pearl and Cultured Pearl Icon. Jacques, how have you got started in the pearl business?
Well, I had the chance when I was an airline pilot to be assigned in Tahiti, and long story, I was moving from the air to underwater, and after so many fascinating circumstances, I had the chance to befriend very interesting communities in remote atoll in the Tuamotus, and given the chance to try to find alternative livelihood for the people. It was at the time of the nuclear experiment in the Pacific by the French government, and people were looking from new way to look to the future, and we did some successful trial, and in fact I implanted the first commercial black pearl farm, which up to date is still the leading #1 producer of black pearl in the world. I ended up in the southern Philippines. That was in 1979. And I first did some trial in the northern part, which was shark infested and also typhoon exposed and quite dangerous and risky area. And then fortunately I met my current partner, Manuel Coranco, in 1979. Then we started the joint venture, and that was in southern Palawan. And we have been there for 32 years now.
Can you tell me a little bit about that first farm?
Well, the first farm is still, I would say, one of the, if not the best and unique pearl farm in the world. It's a very deep channel with a very extreme current, maybe sometimes 6-7 knots. Very challenging, very dangerous diving, with a lot of interesting biodiversity and sea crocodile, sharks, but at the same time the most pristine island out of 7,107 islands in the archipelago of the Philippines. And it was love at first sight. My first dive, I said, wow. And that was it.
Why gold?
It was not gold at first. It was first to find oysters, then to stop being extractive and to go into biotechnology, to be the first to succeed in breeding Pictada maxima in 1989. And after that first success, to decide to create something different and unique, because they were white pearl, which were quite common at that time in Australia and Indonesia, and it was relatively easy to produce, so we wanted to go for something more challenging. During our diving campaign, we found some natural golden pearl, and we really decided that if we were able to produce that magic gold naturally with a natural color, we would be the only one in the world to do that. After 10 years, that's what we did.
How do you feel about what you've accomplished till now?
Well, I feel I've been blessed, mostly because I have dealt with a lot of fascinating, committed people, and mainly the main reason is because of the unique community that we were able to create, and up to now to share every moment of our lives together, and the team we have built, which is absolutely fantastic. At first, you have to understand the uniqueness of the Philippine culture and character. Philippine people are among the most artistic and talented and creative in the world, also the most hospitable people that you can meet on this planet, and I know because I've stopped in nearly every island and with a lot of place hospitable, but they are also blessed by a unique nature.
How does the pearl and the environment have to do with one another?
Well, they go totally together. You can produce good pearl in an endangered or polluted environment, and in the first place, and in doing a good pearl, there is maybe 60 or 50 or 60, sometimes 70% of human passion and commitment and expertise, experience, and 30, 40, sometimes 50% of nature role to play. And in certain case, the role of nature can even increase to 100%. If you're a victim of a typhoon, you get wiped out in one blow. So it's very difficult to give you an actual statistic and what is man and nature. But on the long term, it's really a mutual respect and I would say a joint venture between man and nature, which will allow you to produce the most beautiful pearl in the world.
Pearl farming seems like such a risky job. What are some of the risks involved with being a farmer?
It's totally risky but so rewarding because it's not just a job for a job or producing a commodity. It's a lifestyle, it's a philosophy, it's a passion. And it's a passion that we share with all the people involved. We have over 1,000 people in our organization, and everyone that you have met speak with the same enthusiasm and passion. So how can you not be passionate when you're surrounded with golden heart and golden people? Having the feeling to cooperate not just for the interest of our organization, but also for the neighboring communities. We can't prosper if the neighbor around in those poor remote islands around pearl farm sites, which are very isolated and get very little government support. We can progress if those people also don't get uplifted at the same time. So, of course, our core responsibility is to make a strong organization, but that strong organization cannot be sustainable without a growing community around which accept totally what we're doing and which also little by little is convinced of the environmentally friendly and sincerity of what we're trying to modestly contribute to create a better world.
Is there a common philosophy that your employees share to create the golden pearl?
Well, I think we explained to you that you need a site, you need good oyster, you need technique, you need shell management, you need security, you need a vision, but that's not enough. If it's only the material element, there will be something missing, and that's what we call the pearl philosophy, or the perfect pearl philosophy. If you only consider your work as a job and nothing else, you will never produce beautiful pearls. But if, as an artist, you see the pearl as a way to, I would say, return the blessing of nature or the blessing of life, then pearl become a passion, and not only just a passion, but also any of your thought and any of your inspiration will be gearing to create that mythic object. And once you succeed, the reward is worth the effort and sacrifice. Many people live in very remote conditions, sometimes away from their families, without much access to comfort of modern times. But I don't think they envy people in the cities or people who have all that comfort and don't enjoy that fire that keep us together.
What is the perfect pearl to you?
The perfect pearl is a reflection of nature. It's the symbol of a perfectly symmetrical biomineralization, meaning a wonderful natural arrangement of aragonite crystal around a perfect sphere, all of the same size and all of the same angle, perfectly arranged in a way that will interfere with such a beautiful effect and interference with natural light, and will generate Orion, the inner glow. The moment the pearl is perfect, it plays with light, whether in the dark, whether you have only the minute source of light. The moment you have a real pearl and a perfect pearl, that light will find the pearl, will be absorbed by the pearl and reflected to the human eye. And that's the link between the eye of a woman and a golden pearl. There are many kinds of pearl, and each pearl has a value and an attraction for a particular group of people. However, the queen of gem is the golden South Sea pearl, because it's really on the top of the scale. It's the most difficult to produce, and it's the most unique and rarest. It's also a witness of the evolution of nature and the danger to which our ocean and our planet is exposed now. And not wanting to end on a sad note, but the ocean has been absorbing the carbon dioxide from industrialization time up to date, and we are approaching saturation. It was 280 parts per million before industrialization. It is now 380 parts per million of carbon dioxide in the sea. The moment we reach 400, there is no more metabolism of calcium in the sea. At 500, it's human starvation. All marine life will disappear, and the curve is just going up. And the pearl farmers are there, totally powerless, except sharing their concern that if we want to maintain the planet healthy, we have to be sure that pearls will survive what's happening around in level of blind industrialization, total irresponsible growth. Everybody's doing greenwashing, but on the field, nobody's doing anything. We live on the field. We see the sea going up. We see the sea temperature going up. We see the erosion. We see the carbon dioxide going up. We see the coral bleaching. We can just inform and share that the pearl is a symbol of survival. When you have no more pearls, you have no more human on the planet.
Well, thank you so much for your words. I appreciate it so much, and thank you for everything.